Hi, my name is Rashmi Kumari. I look after talent management and organization development at Future Generali India Life Insurance. I'm happy to be sharing some of my views on emotional intelligence today. Let's begin with what is emotional intelligence? Emotional intelligence is the ability to be aware of our own emotions and manage them in a way that best suits the situation. Only when we are fully aware of our emotions, we'll be able to manage the way we react, respond, and also understand others' emotions well. Think of a day in general. We live in a digitally enabled world and we are constantly bombarded with information, news, notification, messages, and whatnot. We work in a competitive environment, and I'm sure we have so many meetings to attend to, deadlines to match, and projects that we're working, and so much more. All of these things together in a day in general overwhelms us with so many emotions. At least at one given point of time, I'm sure each one of us could go through a plethora of emotions. Even right now, if you pause and think about it, there must be an emotion that you would be experiencing, right? Well, this is where emotional intelligence actually comes into play. Emotional intelligence is nothing but being fully aware of the emotion that we are experiencing and hence the subsequent behavior. This helps us understand the triggers, understand what we do and why we do, to be able to manage our reactions and behaviors better in a way that helps us create a better impact in our interpersonal relationships. In general, in our personal lives as well as our professional lives, emotional intelligence plays a very important role. It not only helps us become better individuals, have better interpersonal relationships, but also works as a catalyst in our professional growth. Only when we are fully aware of our emotions, we are able to become better managers to our team members, we are able to better collaborate with our peers, and we are better able to work in a group dynamics and collaborate, especially now when most of us might be working from home. Let's start and think about it that how can we incorporate emotional intelligence in a day-to-day scenario. But before we begin that, think of a leader whom you extremely admire. Somebody from your organization, somebody outside your organization, anybody whom you admire. A leader becomes a great leader because of his or her ability to manifest vision in the people he or she works with. They are great leaders because of the connect they make with people, because of how humble they are, because of the way they make people, behave, and the way they are invested in others' growth and development. Why do you think they're able to do it? Of course, there are many things that go into developing a leader, but one of them is their ability to connect and influence others. The reason they are able to connect, manage, and influence others better is because they are emotionally aware and emotionally intelligent. They understand that what are the motivators people have and why do people behave and why do people do what they do. Once you know that, you are able to encourage certain behaviors, you are able to tweak your behaviors accordingly. And this is what distinguishes a great leader, right? Now, coming back to us, I think not just leaders, but we ourselves as well can practice emotional intelligence in a day to day context. But before going on to how do we implement emotional intelligence, it's important that we fully know how to become more emotionally intelligent. To begin with, you can start by simply observing yourself more often. Start by consciously observing how you are behaving in certain situations. Try and understand the recurring patterns of your behaviors. This will help you understand what are your triggers and motivators. This will help you understand what do you say, what do you do in a particular situation. Once you've done that, sit down maybe in a digitally off space, switch off your phone or something, whatever works for you. But try and reflect why you reacted in that manner. Once you've done the what part, that, what did you say, what did you do, and all of those things, come to the why part. Why did you behave and why did you react the way you did? The second part is more important when you are able to understand the meaning behind it. Once you've done it, great job done. Third step would be acknowledging it and accepting it. Rather than blaming somebody else for our negative triggers, it's important that we acknowledge and accept it, that we reacted so and so way because of our own, because of our own emotional triggers. So it's important to understand that. Once you've done that, it's a practice that needs to be done consciously. In every given situation, think through, consciously observe yourself, how you are saying things, how are you reacting, what could be the consequence of your actions and behaviors onto the other person. Once you have these set of questions on an autopilot mode, it helps us become more aware of things that we are saying and the impact they could lead to. Apart from that, in general also, uh, like I was giving the example of us working from home and not meeting each other in person. In that situation, and otherwise also, how can we implement emotional intelligence in a day-to-day context? Start simple. Small gestures also make a big impact, and I'm sure we all know that already. So, when you are in a meeting, do not listen for the other person to stop. What we often do is we just listen because we want the other person to stop and we start saying, then. Listen so that you can respond. This is important because the other person knows that they are being, listened to and their points are being valued, if not accepted. You might not accept what they're saying, but it's important to listen and then respond. So, first step would be that you become effective and better listeners. The second step would be, if you are in a discussion with somebody, the way we react and treat others is important, but it's equally more important, in fact, all the more important, when they're not meeting our expectations. When you are in a group dynamic situation or when you are in a team scenario, even if the other person has not met your expectation, to treat them respectfully, treat them nicely. This goes a long way and says a lot more about you than the other person. The third aspect would be, think about situations which you are going through while you're working from home. Empathize more often with your teammates, even with your bosses. Everybody is going through a difficult time and they are managing so much more with work. So be more supportive, be more empathetic with people. A simple gesture of how can I help you do this better goes a long way. The fourth aspect would be, say thank you more often. I personally feel that sometimes we do take things for granted, but a positive reinforcement or a positive gesture like, thank you for helping me, thank you for going out of your way, thank you for giving me the details timely, it helps. It creates a positive impact and creates a positive affiliation with your name in person's mind. The last step would be just offering to help more often, and not just by saying but doing it more. When you know that you can extend help to somebody, do it without hesitation. It's important that sometimes we go out of our ways, even without letting the other person know, or doing big gestures. I think these simple steps are something which we can manifest in our day to day behaviors, and it helps us build strong relationships with others and be more mindful in the way we treat others. Thank you so much. Lastly, please understand that emotional intelligence is not a crash course that we all can work with. It's a practice and it requires patience. So I hope you all invest your time into it. Thank you so much.